All right, we're going to be going on here to example 1b. We're going to be solving this rational equation. So we have our 4 over x minus 1 plus 9 equals negative 7 over x. All right, so what we want to do here first is find our LCD. Okay, so we see that one of our factors is x minus 1. And this 9 has a factor then of 1, and this has x right here. So basically, it's when we multiply all three of these together, that's going to be our LCD. So one of our factors is x minus 1. We can multiply it by 1, but it's just going to be itself, so we can just ignore that. And then we have our x. So basically, this is going to be our LCD. Okay, now that we have that, we're going to multiply everything. I mean everything. I mean every single term by the LCD. And the purpose, the reason for multiplying by the LCD is we eliminate the denominator. And that's pretty cool right there because we like to work with non-fractions. All right, so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and multiply everything by x times x minus 1. All right, so watch how nerdy this gets here. X times x minus 1. And I'm going to multiply that by 4 over x minus 1. And I'm changing the colors here to just show you that that's all I'm doing. I'm just multiplying by our LCD. So multiply again x times x minus 1 by our next term, which is just 9. And then equals multiply again x times x minus 1. Next term there is negative 7 over x. Cool. So see how we took the original problem, and all I did was I stuck an x times x minus 1 next to each term because we're going to multiply it. And what happens now is the denominators are eliminated. Super rad right there. So look at this. Those guys cancel right there. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So we just have 4 times x right here. So 4x. Sweet. Let's go ahead and multiply 9, and our x gives us 9x. So 9x times x right here gives us a 9x squared. Oh, sorry, just 9x. Let me do a little. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's good. And then 9x times a negative 1 gives us our negative 9x. All right, so that all simplifies right there. And basically, I was doing the little distributive property there. Now go to the right side. This x crosses out with that x right there. Cool beans. And then we multiply now by negative 7. So negative 7 times x is negative 7x. And then negative 7 times negative 1 is a positive 7. Heck yeah! I mean, this looks a lot nicer than what we started with. And that's the whole purpose of multiplying by the LCD, is we eliminate the denominator. So now let's just go ahead and solve now, right? And let's put this in standard form. I'll first go ahead and combine these little guys together right here. So we get 9x squared minus 5x. Yeah, and then we'll get negative 7x plus 7. And let's move these guys over here. Meow. Meow. So we'll add 7x. Cool beans. And also do all in one move here. We'll subtract 7 as well. So our standard form now is in 9x squared. Negative 5x, 7x gives us our 2x. And then minus 7 equals 0. Okay, so what we've done now is we turned our rational equation now into a quadratic equation. And we've learned four different ways of solving this. So the first one you always want to try is this factorable, right? If you can factor it, then that's going to come out nicely. And you can try that by, multiplying our factors here. But I already know this is not going to factor, so we're just going to go ahead and use the quadro formula. So let's go ahead and write that little dude down. I'm going to go ahead and write it in its parentheses so we can just plop in the numbers all over 2a. Cool. So let's just go ahead and plop in some values right here. So plop in our little b right here, and then plop in our b, our a value, and our c value, negative 7, and our a value. All right, so let's simplify this little dude. So x equals a negative times a positive gives us our negative 2. plus or minus. So we have our 2 squared gives us our 4. Let's go ahead and multiply all this out. We have a 4 and 9 and 7 gives us 256. Now let's just see here. Should this be a plus or a minus? Well, let's see. A negative and a positive gives us a negative. Then multiply that negative by a negative. So that should be a positive then. All right. So then to simplify this, oh, this should be all over 18. Cool. To simplify this even further, we'll have a negative 2 plus or minus 260, radical 260, all over 18. All right, just one quick little boo-boo. Just up here, this actually 250. This is actually 252 right here. It's gonna change this a tad bit. I had to pause the video, but like I know something's not coming out right because I did it before. So here, all right, here we go. So that was actually 252, which then makes the whole thing 256. You guys are probably like, hey, what the heck's going on there? You're supposed to be 252. I heard you guys. I got you. All right. So now let's go ahead and simplify this little guy then. And now this should come out very nicely. Okay, so that's negative 2 plus or minus 16 all over 18 there. And lastly, we can just write this out as our 2 separate answers now. So we have one answer, which is negative 2 plus 16 over 18. And then we'll have our other, let me write that again. Other one would be negative 2 minus 16 all over 18. Okay, so our first one right here is 14. All right, 16 minus 2 is going to be 14 18ths. And I can divide the top and bottom by 2, so 7/8. And this guy right here gives us a negative 18 over 18, or negative 1. So we'll have our 2 answers right there, which would be negative 1 and 7/8.